MixedTV.tv presents the Mixed TV Southeast Tennessee Football Spotlights presented by Life Care Centers of America. Join us as we look at the upcoming 2022 season and share in-depth interviews with coaches and players.
Welcome back to the Mixed TV Southeast Tennessee Football Spotlights presented by Life Care Centers of America. Today we will be spotlighting Cleveland High School's football team. Cleveland competes in D1 Class 6A Region 2, and they are entering their 58th season in program history. This historic franchise has been very successful with an all-time record of 437 wins to 193 losses. That gives them a 70% winning percentage in their history. This program's also won 4 straight titles. They are 203-72 in district play, and they are looking for their 52nd winning season ever. They have only played 58, which means they only have 5 losing seasons, which is a very impressive number. They're looking for their 13th 10-win season all time, and they're seeking their 39th playoff appearance. In the playoffs, they have an all-time record of 38-33, but all this storied success has not carried over to recently. Since 2010, Cleveland is only 68-63 with a 51% winning percentage, which is far less than the 70% they have all time. Last season, Cleveland went 6-5, 2-3 in district, and made the first round of the playoffs before losing at Westridge on a game-winning field goal. Cleveland's defense last season led the way for them. They averaged 18 points allowed per game and held opponents to less than 20 points in 7 of their 11 contests. They're looking for their second straight winning season after 3 straight losing seasons. Their head man is head coach Marty Wheeler. He has had a 17-year coaching career, and he has an all-time record of 114 wins to just 71 losses. He started his head coaching career at Ripley High School, where he coached for 3 seasons before spending a decade at Covington High School, where he averaged nearly 9 wins a season. At Covington, Coach Wheeler had 4 11-win seasons and 5 state championships. Wheeler has not enjoyed the same success at Cleveland. He has compiled a record of 15-17 and has yet to win a playoff game. Moving into Cleveland's schedule, they will open with Red Bank, a team they narrowly beat last year. All time, they are 16-19 against Red Bank. They're looking to make it 17 wins this year as they open their season at home on a Thursday night. That game will be on MixedTV.tv. They will then travel to McMinn County, who they beat last year. They have an all-time record of 37 wins and 19 losses. And then they will travel across town to Bradley Central, who they lost in heartbreaking fashion to last year. But they do have a leg up all time, having 7 more wins all time than Bradley. They will then host East Ridge, who they beat very handedly last year. They have an all-time record of 17-2. And then Cleveland will take their bye week 5 weeks into the season, before traveling to Farragut and traveling to Walker Valley. Both of those teams Cleveland beat last year. And then they will host 3 straight games against Maryville, Bearden, and Giles County. All 3 of those teams ended up beating Cleveland last year. And then they will end their season at Hardin Valley, a team that Cleveland has never lost to in all 3 of their matchups. With that being said, we're going to head over to Raider Drive to speak with head man of the Blue Raiders, head coach Marty Wheeler. We are here at Cleveland High School, joined by head football coach Marty Wheeler. Coach, last season you guys went 6-5, a big winning season for you guys. How do you build off that season and sort of bring the momentum into this year?
I mean, anytime you finish, with more wins than losses, when you're at where we are right now, trying to get this thing fixed, it's always nice to go into the off season with that in mind. But it was a tough end. We lost a really close game in the playoffs. It was tough. Had a great group of seniors last year. Really special group. Hated to see them, have to go out like that. But what they brought to this program to try to get it back, the stability back in it, and back where we want it to be, is really unbelievable. Just, you hate to see guys like that graduate, but it happens. And so then you turn your focus to, the guys that are going to continue that. And so I think it helps for sure. But we're really proud of what our guys have been able to do since that game in the off season and even through the summer. I think definitely we are, without a doubt, stronger than we've been since I've been here, which we should be. But, I mean, we got a lot of guys that have gotten stronger since their first day in the program to now, where I don't know how much of that had went on prior to that.
So talking about the great work over the summer, but what does a season like last year and then all this work over the summer do towards building the culture of this program?
Well, I mean, it's expectations. You know what I mean? So I think our guys are this is, we've been here 3 years. I think they understand now. They've got a lot better idea of what the expectations are day in and day out, right? So, like, it's so, and that's really what we're trying to focus on as we move forward is consistency. We have really good days in the weight room, and we have really good days on the field, but we need really good weeks in the weight room and really good weeks on the field. And how you do that is you just focus one day at a time about what we need to get done that particular day, and we want to just be better today than we were yesterday. And as long as you do that, then when you look up, eventually you're putting weeks, back-to-back weeks, and then weeks on top of weeks of good practices, good workouts, and then when those things happen, I mean, winning sort of just falls into place.
So you kind of hit on it earlier, but seniors like Destin Thomas, Tito Boyd, Tate O'Brien, Nick Nicodemus, Jonathan Morales, the list goes on for your big group of seniors last year. But just what kind of impact did those guys have on their 4 years here in this program?
Oh, I mean, like I said, just those guys are how much it meant to them. How much this football program meant to them, and being a Blue Raider meant to those guys. Really was special to see that. To see them, we got off to such a great start last year. Lost a couple of really close games down the stretch, and then we came up just a tad short in the playoffs. But their want to try to bring back the stability and put this program back on the right track completely to where it used to be was really I really enjoyed watching that and being able to be a part of that and coach them every day. They were a lot of fun to coach. But I hope what we're going to find out. We're about to find that out, Ryan, here pretty soon. We're about to get started, so we're going to find out if the things that a lot of those guys live by example. Mm-hmm. So we're going to find out if our younger guys and our guys that are seniors now, we're paying enough attention to be able to pick up where they left off. But the biggest thing about those guys, if you want to know how special they were, is several of those guys signed out of that senior class to go on to have the opportunity to get their college education and get it paid for by playing football.
So you talk about some guys that need to step up. Obviously, a lot of holes left, playmakers, especially on the offensive line. But who are some guys that have stepped up to fill holes in the roster, but also just in the locker room?
Oh, guys that come to mind as far as in the locker room, Drew Lambert, of course, he's been our quarterback for 3 years now. So I don't know if you would call it stepping up for him. He's just I think he's taking on the role as the main leader. Ethan Burns is another guy that's the leader for our football team. Both those guys are seniors, but there's some younger guys I've seen that you can tell that what this group that just graduated last year left behind is they've picked up on too. But up front, you're right. On the offensive line is going to be a huge key for us. The guys like Stonewall, Charette, Will Brantley, Neil Armstrong, Ronnie. Burns is also on that line. And those guys, how well they perform and how much they progress as we get going here from scrimmages into the season is going to play a huge role for us from an offensive standpoint and as a team. And so defensively, we got some guys got to step up at linebacker. We lost all of our inside linebackers, and guys like Cam Blockerby and Lamar Anders is back. Dylan Harold, those type of guys. Lucas Simborski's another guy. Mm-hmm. So that we need those guys how well they play at linebacker, and then we got some guys that are going to have to play up front and do their job to allow those guys to run and make plays. So a lot of factors they're going to have to, we're going to find out how well we are at those positions and how much they've learned, but they're going to play a huge role in our success.
So what are your biggest keys to coming out here this season and having another successful year?
Well, we need to be able to. We need to have a sense of urgency. First off, we don't need to try to figure out what's going on, try to wait. Like we're trying to get in the deep end of the swimming for the first time. You know, we need to dive right in and get busy. A lot of these guys have some game experience. You know, I think keys up on the perimeter. We got some skilled guys that have some talent. You know, and if we, you know, that's the name of the game on offense anyway, is getting the ball to your playmakers. But we've got several playmakers. We don't just have one playmaker, and we need to get the ball to all of our playmakers. We need to be able to run the football, and we need to be able to stop the run. And the people who play the longest are the guys that can run the football the best, and can stop it the best. So that's what hopefully this year we're looking to improve on our, how well we run the football, and continue to improve on how well we stop the run.
So lastly, you've been in football for a while. Just how excited are you that it's almost football season in Tennessee?
I mean, it's always exciting when it's football season. I mean, you know, COVID's a great example of like when the thoughts that there may not be a football season. I remember spending quite a bit of time wondering, like, what are we going to do? Yeah. You know, if there is no football season, like I don't know how the South would make it, you know, to be honest with you. And fortunately, we didn't have to deal with that. But, I mean, it's always exciting this time of the year. You know, not only am I excited about our football season, and I know our community is, but, I mean, I'm a college football fan. I get really excited this time of the year. And, you know, I've been doing this almost 25 years, so that's a long time. And I get excited about football season. That hasn't changed. So as long as I continue to get excited about it, then I'm going to be out here doing it.
Yeah. Well, this has been head man here at Cleveland High School, Marty Wheeler. Now we're going to send it right back to the station. Cleveland will look to have their second straight winning season, and they will open at home against Red Bank on Thursday, August 18th. That game is a 7 p.m. kickoff, and you can watch it right here on mixtv.tv. This concludes today's segment of our Mixed TV Southeast Tennessee Football Spotlights presented by Life Care Centers of America. I'm Ryan Lovelace, and we will see you back here next time.